What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. When I'm working on cars, I like to protect these beautiful hands. Or when you're working on anything, hands can be delicate, easy to get roughed up, and that's why a pair of gloves is always nice. Now, especially if you've ever worked on cars when you need to maintain a lot of kind of fine motor control, have good dexterity on things. You want kind of a skin-tight pair of gloves, and you really don't want to use like, what do you call it, latex or even nitrile, because they're just so easy to chew up and tear up when you're working on brakes. They just kind of tear apart. Now, you're probably familiar with mechanics gloves. I really like mechanics gloves. I've used them in the past. Always had nice things to say about them, but they are pretty expensive for work gloves. And so I found this. This is by CLC Workwear, and it is the Workright Flex Grip glove. And it looked like, at least from the pictures, that they were kind of typical utilitarian mechanics gloves. Now, you don't need mechanics gloves to exclusively for working on cars or being a mechanic or being a handyman. You can use them for tactical use. You know, you might be a police officer, military, something like that. Those are always really nice. Man, these are on there really, really well. You know, firemen, you can use these out in your garden. You can use them in a ton of places, and so they have lots of uses. Now, I want to say that I picked these up because of the look, as well as they look like they were you know, really thin. And in fact, the description said that they were really thin. And I'm going to do a coin test, see if we can pick up stuff on the table. But first of all, I just want to give you a little overview on it. This side is kind of dimpled. It's kind of like a mesh. There's a padded section right here, so you've got some knuckle protection right up here. You know, if you're working on something and a wrench or a nut breaks free and your wrench goes flying, and you know, those knuckle busters can be held, especially if you're working on, you know, suspension or something like that. You've got this black, I'm gonna call it like it's like a microfiber, kind of like an Alcantara or suede or something, and that kind of goes up over the top of the fingers here. So you've got maybe the more rugged material all on the bottom. You can see the stitching here, and this is all where you can see the stitching outline. This is all additionally padded. So you have some padding right under your fingers here and on the palm of your hand. So that's really nice. I think it looks pretty good. And then on this side, we have a Velcro strap for tightening around your wrist. This is a little stretchy right there, a little elastic, so you should get a nice purchase on it. And I think I ordered these in medium, so we'll see. All right, so I'm really happy about that. Usually I have to go to a smaller medium, but these mediums are perfect. Not only are they perfect, which is kind of funny to me because I don't know if I have weird shaped hands, but sometimes the fingers are a little too long for me. But you might be able to see here, the fingers are filled up really nicely, and they go right to the V's in my hand. So if I go ahead and cinch this down, you can see I've got really nice padding up here. That's great. That feels great, man. That's great. All right, so I'm just gonna throw on the other one here too, and then we're gonna do a little test. Okay, so this one works great too, man. Boom! Look at that. I could be a hand model if hand models didn't have to have nice hands. And so they feel good. They're just a nice tight fit. I can use those scissors I was using, no problem, easy to manipulate. Now I do have a quarter right here on the table. You might be able to see it. And picking stuff up off a flat surface is always tough with work gloves. So I'm going to see if I can. Wow, that was anticlimactic. I was able to do that. You know, so my issue is always kind of getting a hold of a nut, doing a little fine work on things. But if I can pick up a coin off the table like that, I'm going to have no problems using these things, whether it's unscrewing a cap or a nut or just kind of doing some initial tightening before using my tools. So pretty happy with these. And like I said, they were under 11 bucks. I'll put a link to them in the description. Peter Von Panda. Out!